Peace, y'all, and welcome back to another tea time. It is your girl, Divine Destiny. I'm sipping on coffee again. I'm still in the chokehold, okay? Don't worry about me, because I love it here. Anywho, I have tried to record this video twice already, and there have been distractions and just noise and just energy, okay? With that being said, Spirit already let me know what the vibe is, what the energy is, okay? So there is definitely an opposition trying not to get this message to you. Okay, so if you are hearing this, if you're under the scope of my voice right now, there's something in this message for you. Tune in, tap in, because they really trying to stop this message from coming in. But you know what? We're gonna keep talking today. Anyway, let's jump right in. So today's message: true authenticity requires a certain level of unfuxkwitability. Period. Regardless of if you are stepping into your true authenticity, right? If you are just becoming your truest, most authentic form, or if you are already standing in your true authenticity, there's going to be an energy somewhere on some level that is trying you, that's trying to get you out of body, that's trying to get you out of blessings, that's trying to get you out your bag, that's trying to get you out of character, right? Trying to get you out of your being, because they recognize the light, the power, the authenticity that you stand in, that you hold, even if you're not standing in it at that time, right? So let's go back. Like I said, even if you are becoming your truest, most authentic self, right? There are going to be energies. And I personally feel like when you're in your transition phase is when you're getting it the most, right? When the enemy, when the opposition, the darkness, whatever it is that you want to put a name on it for, right? When the ops is on you, okay, it's most of the time gonna be when you're stepping into your truest form, right? When you're becoming your most authentic self, because you haven't fully recognized yourself. So the energies, the enemies, the entities, okay, that don't want to see you step into that true authenticity, because they don't benefit off of you stepping into your true authenticity, right? Which is why a lot of the time the people that are challenging you, or really challenging you as you're moving into your most truest authentic self, are usually people closest to you. It's usually friends, it's usually family, it's usually coworkers, it's usually past people, childhood friends, people who knew you at different phases and different stages of life and self, right? So now that you are moving in your most authentic form, your truest form, the form of you that actually brings you peace of mind, body, heart, spirit, and soul. Do you know what I'm saying? Now that you're moving in that, or aligning with that, the energies that were with you in the past, that was kicking in with you, that was around you, that was with you doing all the misaligned things, right? They can no longer benefit off of you if you're aligning. That who they gonna go do misaligned things with, right? Now they're losing a part of their life. In their mind, they're losing, an integral part of their misaligned mishaps, because you're choosing to align, to elevate. You're being called to higher, better, different, more, right? So those energies are going to begin to get active. Those energies, entities, demons is going to get triggered by the fact that you are choosing better, and it's really the ego inside of other people recognizing the more that you were striving for, or the more that you were destined for, and seeing that that's not within themselves, or they just haven't found it, or they're not doing the work to find it. But here you are, shining in your glory, even though you may not feel that you're in your fullest, and they see you, so now they feel like internally projecting, because that's what people do. They project their traumas, they project their triggers, they project their mentalities, their lack, their expectations, right? Their disapproval, their fears, their anxieties, their doubts, their worries. Somebody's always projecting something on somebody else based off of their own viewpoints of themselves or life. So these people, these energies, these entities, on these people, in these people, are now triggered because of the light you're standing in, and they're gonna come fuck with you. Like, and so you have to have a certain level of unfuckwitability. You have to be unmovable, unshakable in your own energy, in your peace of mind, in your peace of spirit, in yourself, right? In your light, in your truth, in who you are, and what it is you're doing, and who it is you're becoming, and where it is that you're going, even if you can't see it right now, even if it's not here physically and tangibly in your hands, right? You have to hold the faith for yourself, because there are going to be energies outside of you who are trying to pull you out of that faith. Living in your truest, most authentic self is truly aligning with God, with the Most High, with the divine source energy, with the universe, with spirit, right? You are aligning with your truth, with the light within yourself, with who it is you have been created on this earth to be, right? Whether you are already that person, grounded and rooted in it, or are you becoming that person? That's a lot of power. You become a very powerful person when you're standing in your truth, when you're standing in your light, when you're standing in your authenticity. And that's because you don't have to wear a mask, you don't have to hide, you don't have to pretend about anything. You get to come and present yourself to the world exactly how you show up that day. And it might be different than how you showed up yesterday. It might be different than how you showed up an hour ago. Because we're ever growing and ever evolving, and that is literally life. But not everybody's on that journey. Not everybody's on that track, and there are going to be energies around you triggered. There are going to be energies around you trying to get you out of body, get you out of character. Do not allow them to pull you out of yourself, because that's what they want, right? And usually these energies are coming from the people close to us, family, friends, coworkers, loved ones, in one way or another, partners, siblings, in one way or another, right? Those energies are going to be triggered. And it could be from past energies, past people, because they remember you a certain way, right? They remember you showing up in this way, or you reacting in this way. And so that's what they expect. And when you choose to react differently, well, they have to react differently, but this ain't what their ego is used to. This isn't the level of control that they're used to in dealing with you. This isn't the level of manipulation sometimes that they're used to having, right? They're used to being able to pull the strings and know exactly how you're going to react. And now you're not acting like that, right? Or it could become from people who maybe don't know who you were in the past, or where you came from, or what you've been through. It could be coming from people who see you now standing in your glory, in your truest authentic self, or in becoming that truest authentic self, and their energies, their entities inside of them, their ego inside of them is saying, well, let me test this person, let me try, let me see if they really about what they say they about, right? And I can only speak for myself personally, right? My truest authentic self is spirituality. Like, I don't have another way to describe that, right? But like, spirituality isn't something I do. I don't just get on here on the camera and like read cards and like that's it, go about my life. Like, no, this is spirituality is a lifestyle. It is my way of being. It is my way of thinking. It's my way of existing, right? And that is obviously going to change and grow with me as I change and grow on a spiritual level. I'm changing and growing physically as my being, as my level of understanding within myself and the world around me, right? So those things are going to change, and they're allowed to. Some people don't understand that. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, for me personally, I would say that my biggest challenge and most of my ops, right, come from people who knew me when Knew me back when. Knew me when I was angry. Knew me when I was sad. Knew me when I was depressed. Knew me when I was anxious. Knew me when I was just nervous system all out of whack, out of control. Okay, like knew me when I was reacting from my lower self, my lower chakras. 10:01 on my timer as I'm saying this. And now, as I have gone through life, because that's really what it is. If you're moving through your truest, most authentic self, and you're right here listening to me, and we're having a moment and we're vibing right now, I know for a fact that you've been through some shit. And that's why you are able to be who you are authentically, because whatever it is that you've been through, you didn't let it break you, right? You allowed it to bend you and mold you into exactly who it is you have always been destined to present and show up as in this world. And that's beautiful. And I love that for you. I love that for us. And I'm proud of us because it takes a lot. But there are people who don't see that part, right? There are people who just assume you flowing through life because you make it look easy. There are people who just assume you're just lucky, you're just fortunate. No, you're blessed, you're chosen. You were divinely guided and protected because you put in the time, you put in the work, you put in the energy, you put in the effort to do and be just that, right? But for me, on a spiritual note, right, it's always, and maybe that's because personally my journey is spirituality, right? So I do live and exist in spirituality and everything that I do. So that perpetuates and radiates and projects to me in my reality. So a lot of the energies that I find dealing with or combating with me are more so people or energies that have a problem with my spirituality or my spiritual growth or my spiritual journey because they don't understand it, or because we used to be kicking it. We used to go tear it up. We used to, you feel me? Get turned, and whatever it is, you feel me? And I'm just not in that space anymore. And that's beautiful. That's growth. That's evolution. That's what this is about. But there are energies and people who would absolutely continuously throw energy my way, trying to bait me into reacting a specific way, or trying to pull out that angry about energy, because that is what it is. Okay, everybody got their triggers. Me, I can get active. I could get angry, and I worked very hard. Spirit has put me through a number of lessons, tumultuous cycles. Okay, until I learned my lesson. React different. Like, choose something else. You can be mad. Your feelings are absolutely entitled to you, but you don't have to react from that anger. And I learned that. Even when I feel disrespected, I don't have to react from that place of disrespect, right? When somebody is trying to throw me off my energy, knock me out of my alignment, pull me out of my body, pull me out of my being, because they're triggered, their ego is triggered, their lack of light is triggered by the light that I show up as in this world, right? That's not your job to fix. It is not your job to fix somebody else's energy or lack thereof. It is not your job to coddle people's emotions because of how or who it is that you were called to show up as in this world. It is your job, however, to remain in your peace and in your balance. And always, always.